I have a bit of a confession to make. Um, if I'm being honest, I see the text messages that you send to my phone. I also see the phone calls when they come across my screen. And I'm not one of those people who like, oh, I leave my phone on D&D. I didn't see it. No, I literally watch the phone ring and just sit there and watch and just wait for it to time out and then just return back to my doom scrolling.
There's a form of suffering that doesn't even look like suffering. You still wake up. You still go to work. You still answer the messages that absolutely require an answer. But everything else is allowed to ring until it stops. Not because you hate anyone, not because there is some secret conflict. You simply do not have enough life inside you to participate. So, you watch the phone ring. You watch the days pass. You watch other people live through a screen while slowly becoming absent from your own existence. And because you're still technically functioning, nobody recognizes that you are disappearing. Sometimes not even you. You call it protecting your peace. You call it needing space. You call it being introverted. You call it avoiding drama. But peace restores you. Peace returns you to yourself. If your solitude leaves you more exhausted, more detached, and less capable of touching your own life, that's not peace. What that is organized disappearance. The phone is not the real problem. The doom scrolling is not even the real problem. The problem is that watching has become easier than participating. Observation has become your hiding place, and eventually you must ask, am I resting from my life, or am I slowly refusing to return to it? Because there's a difference between solitude and absence. The hermit withdraws to recover his sight. He does not withdraw so completely that he becomes invisible to himself.
I want to talk to you about something called emotional disconnection, meaning when your outer life looks fine, but internally, something feels off. Have you ever heard of the idea that you can be high functioning and still not feel fulfilled? See, in psychology, functioning and fulfillment are not the same thing. Functioning is about maintaining responsibilities, showing up, getting things done, keep life moving. But fulfillment is about emotional alignment, feeling connected to what you're doing and who you're becoming. You might be mistaking productivity for purpose. Just because you're handling everything doesn't automatically mean you feel whole. And when that gap goes unnoticed, it can leave you feeling uncertain, restless, like something is missing, even if you can't fully explain it. That doesn't make you ungrateful. It may mean you've learned how to survive your life.
This is a condition many people cannot explain. Nothing is visibly wrong. The bills are being paid, the responsibilities are being handled, the appointments are being kept. You are dependable, you are productive, and apparently stable. But nobody's home. You have learned to operate your life without inhabiting it. You know what must be done, so you do it. But you no longer feel connected to the person doing it. And because society rewards functioning, no one ever asks whether the functioning person is alive inside. They congratulate your discipline. They admire how much you carry. They call you strong because you never stop. But perhaps you never stop because stopping would force you to feel how far away from yourself you have become. Productivity can conceal disconnection. Routine can conceal despair. Responsibility can become a socially approved method of abandoning yourself. You complete the task. You meet the deadline. You maintain the image. And then you collapse somewhere private where no one else can see the cost. This is why success does not always feel like success. You may be achieving goals chosen by a version of you that no longer exists. You may be protecting a life you no longer want. You may be moving efficiently in a direction your spirit rejected years ago. Functioning asks, what must I do next? Fulfillment asks, why am I doing any of this? You see, one keeps the machinery moving. The other determines whether the machinery serves a living human being. Do not confuse maintaining your life with experiencing it. Survival can keep you alive, but survival alone cannot tell you what being alive is for.
You know what scares people the most?
is a woman that cannot emotionally control. And if she's not a loud woman, not an angry woman, not a woman trying to prove herself, no. She's a calm woman, a woman who sees exactly what's happening and still does not react the same way that people expect her to. That type of woman makes people nervous, you see, because society has built this image around women for years. Women are too emotional. Women are reactive. Women are dramatic. Women are sensitive. Women are easily manipulated through feelings. And that's the image that people expect. And then they come across a woman who does not fit inside of that box at all. A woman who has mastered emotional detachment. And suddenly, nothing works on her. Not guilt, not the silent treatment, not jealousy tactics, and not emotional games or manipulation. Not pressure, not expectation, nothing. Because this type of woman already understands something that most people don't. Emotions are powerful, but unmanaged emotions can make you easy to control. And this woman, she learned how to master herself. That's why she's dangerous. You cannot bait her into reactions. You cannot force emotional chaos onto her. You cannot pull her into confusion. Because before she reacts, she observes. That's what makes her different. You see, she watches people closely, very closely. She listens, she studies, she pauses, and she calculates. And while everybody else is reacting emotionally, she's busy analyzing the entire situation. She already sees where the conversation is going before it even gets there. And that's why people struggle with this type of woman. Because they'll try little things to provoke her, little comments, little digs, little manipulation tactics, trying to make her jealous or trying to make her insecure or trying to make her emotional. And she just sits there calm. Not because she's weak either, not because she's naive, but because she already clocked the game 5 minutes ago. See, people think emotional detachment means a woman has no feelings, but no, that's not what this is. This woman has feelings. She has emotions. She has a heart. She simply mastered where those emotions belong. And that's different.
There is truth in this. A person who cannot be baited is difficult to control. The pause is powerful. Discernment is powerful. Refusing to hand your emotional center to every manipulative person who enters your life is power. But there is a line between emotional governance and emotional disappearance. And the internet crosses that line constantly. It teaches people to celebrate never needing anyone, never attaching, never revealing, never allowing another person close enough to affect them. It calls that being untouchable. But the desire to become untouchable usually begins after someone touched a wound you did not know how to govern. So you build an identity around being unreachable. You call the wall a boundary. You call the fear discernment. You call your inability to attach independence. You call numbness peace. And because the language sounds powerful, nobody notices that the wound is still making the decisions. Emotional discipline does not mean feeling nothing. It means your feelings provide information without taking control of the government. Detachment can help you see clearly, but permanent detachment can prevent you from ever being fully seen. There are people who are proud that walking away is easy for them. But walking away is always easy when you never truly arrive. The goal is not to become impossible to hurt. The goal is to become capable of being hurt without abandoning yourself. That is self-governance. Not the absence of emotion, not the performance of coldness, not convincing everyone that you require nothing. Real power is remaining open without becoming owned, feeling without becoming governed, loving without surrendering your center. A locked door may keep danger outside, but it also prevents life from entering.
I used to think that I was a lazy person. That was just who I was. A lazy person who needed to try harder. And every time I couldn't start something, it would haunt my thoughts for the rest of the day. I'd spend the whole day hating myself. Then I learned about the freeze response. Your nervous system has 3 responses: fight, flight, or freeze. Most people know about the first 2, but freeze is the one not many people talk about. Freeze happens when your brain decides a threat is too big. So instead of running or fighting, it just shuts down, like entirely offline, completely offline. And the threat doesn't have to be huge. It could be an email that seems loaded. It could also be a task tied to something you've been avoiding. Your brain does not know the difference. So all those years I thought I was lazy, I was frozen. My body was reacting the exact way it was designed to. It was trying to protect me. Knowing that didn't fix it overnight, but it changed the question I was asking myself from why can't you just do it to what is my body considering dangerous right now?
Well, that's a far more intelligent question than what is wrong with me? Many people have spent years insulting themselves for responses they never learned how to understand. They call themselves lazy. They call themselves weak, undisciplined. They call themselves broken. They attempt to create movement through self-hatred. And sometimes it works temporarily. Shame can force the body to perform. Fear can make you productive. Self-rejection can create impressive results, but none of that means you're free. You see, the body remembers instructions. The conscious mind has forgotten. Avoid this. Do not speak. Do not try. Do not become visible. Do not risk failing again. Do not risk being rejected again. Do not move unless success is guaranteed. These instructions may once have protected you, but the body does not automatically know when an old danger has ended. It can continue protecting you from a world that is no longer present. So yes, ask, what does my body believe is dangerous? But do not stop there. You need to ask a second question. What small action would demonstrate that this danger no longer governs me? Not a complete transformation, not a entirely new life by tomorrow. One action. Return one message. Stand outside for 10 minutes. Complete one neglected task. Tell one honest truth without explaining it for a half hour. The purpose is not productivity. The purpose is evidence. You are showing the body that movement is possible, that discomfort is survivable, that an old instruction does not possess permanent authority. Compassion tells you why you stopped. Self-governance teaches you how to begin again. You do not need to hate the frozen version of yourself. That version may have protected you, but you also do not have to build your permanent residence inside its protection.
It's like, I know I should be doing more and that I have more potential, but I have no energy to even start. Right. And you always tell yourself that you'll start soon and you don't. Exactly. I just scroll on my phone and shame yourself. Yeah, I think I'm depressed. A lot of people do this. And let me guess, you tell yourself you're lazy all the time. Well, what's really happening is that you're in functional freeze. You can get to work and show up for things when you need to, but you're in a fog and you feel like life is passing you by. You can't focus on conversations and your memory is terrible. You're just existing, and even taking a shower is overwhelming. You're numb from a chronically stressful job that's unfulfilling, and your body is shutting down to protect you. Your nervous system never lies, and it's telling you that it's reached a breaking point.
If you spend your nights and your weekends bed rotting, your nervous system is probably stuck in a functional freeze state. Functional freeze is when you numb, dissociate, or shut down from your body, from your emotions, but you still remain functional. So you're still able to go to work or take care of your family, but after you finish, you crash. This is absolutely not your fault. You've probably been through a lot of stress or trauma for a prolonged period of time. And while there's nothing wrong with bed rotting every now and then to recharge your batteries or to take a mental health day, doing this frequently, which is 3 times per week or more, is a sign that your nervous system is actively shutting down to protect you from experiencing more stress or more trauma. And once your nervous system enters into this functional freeze state, it's really hard to get out of because you're spending all of your energy just trying to survive.
Whether you call it functional freeze, burnout, shutdown, or emotional exhaustion, the experience is real. There are people using nearly all their available energy to appear normal. They work, they care for others, they attend the gathering, they smile at the correct moments. Then they return home and collapse. Not because they're weak, because the performance consumed everything they had. But this is where we must be careful. A name can create understanding. It can remove unnecessary shame. It can help you recognize that you're not simply failing at life, but a name can also become a room you never leave. The explanation becomes the identity. The identity becomes the limitation. And eventually, every attempt to move is rejected with the same sentence. My nervous system is protecting me. Perhaps it is. But protection must eventually release the person it protects. Otherwise, protection becomes imprisonment. A cast protects a broken bone. But if you never remove it, the protected limb becomes weaker. A locked door may keep you safe during the emergency. But once the emergency has passed, the same room becomes a cell. Your shutdown deserves compassion. It does not deserve permanent authority. You're allowed to move slowly. You're allowed to begin badly. You're allowed to require help. You're allowed to admit that certain parts of your life are no longer sustainable. But you cannot heal by turning your paralysis into your personality. You cannot think your way out while feeding yourself the same information that overwhelmed you. You cannot doom scroll your way back into presence. At some point, the return must become physical. Put the phone down, open the curtain, stand up, take the walk, answer the message, make the appointment, touch one neglected corner of your life. Do not wait until you feel completely safe. Complete safety is often a promise fear makes to keep you waiting. Move gently, but move. Not because your exhaustion is imaginary, but because your life is still waiting underneath it. You did not choose every experience that shaped your nervous system. You did not choose every betrayal, disappointment, or pressure that taught you to disappear. So there's no value in condemning yourself for the way you survived. But survival is supposed to carry you through the danger. It's not supposed to become your permanent address. The world may have overwhelmed you. People may have exhausted you. Your own awareness may have become too heavy to carry. But the answer is not to become less alive. The answer is to become more deliberate about what receives your life. Less noise, less performance, less access for people who drain you, but also less hiding, less worship of detachment, less pretending that needing nothing is the highest form of strength. The hermit enters solitude to hear what noise concealed. And once he hears it, he returns with the lamp. He does not remain in the cave forever. No. So rest. Withdraw. Become quiet. Let your system settle. But remember why you entered the silence. You did not enter it to disappear. You entered it to recover the part of you capable of returning. Because you did not find peace if you lost access to yourself. You simply went numb. And numbness may have protected you yesterday, but today, it may be the final thing standing between you and your life.